Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through PSLE Science Prelim question 2025 Catholic High. So this is on question number 20. A solid made of three different substances, M, N, and P, is being placed in the setup as shown over here. So there's a heater over here which provides a heat source. So it's probably most likely going to heat up the solid material that's made of three substances. So you notice M is surrounding N and P. Okay, so it's surrounding M, is surrounding N and T, okay, for this portion. Okay, so the table show you the melting point and the volume of three substances. 100, which is M, okay, which makes sense because it's surrounding M and P, right? Then 20 each for N and P. Okay, what is the most likely volume of liquid collected in the dish? Okay, when the solid is heated up to 60. So when you heat up the whole solid material, right, up to 60 degrees, right, some will melt, some will remain as solid because you are given the melting point. So let's take a look at this question. Okay, for this part, okay, we can draw a line over here to indicate any number that is below the melting point that's given in the substance, right, over here to be solid. So let me just draw in this case. Okay, so the number it will fall in here, solid. So any number that fall above this line will be liquid. So we can kind of draw a temperature line over here, liquid. Okay, so this is our temperature line. Temperature line 65. Okay, if it's 65, then 58. Then after that 115. So this is one way to do it. Then we just put where the number will fall in. Okay, where 60 will fall in. So in this case, 60 is smaller than 65. So it should be here. 60. Okay, 60 then 65, right? Because this is number line. The number over here should be smaller. Then the number here should be larger. Okay, so 60. So M will be a solid. So for N at 60 degree it should be here. So N will be a liquid. At 60 degree P will be a solid. So the only thing that will flow out in the dish, right, will be liquid material N. Okay, the only thing that will fall out will be liquid material N. But you take a look at this 20, right? So why don't we don't have all these answers over here? Okay, so in this case, right, we go back to the diagram. Okay, so you know that this one will be a liquid. Okay, this one will be solid. Okay, let me just liquid. Okay, so this one will be in blue color. Okay, liquid, it will just flow out, right? It should have flow out. But do you realize that it's being contained in substance M? So if it's being contained in substance N, right, it will just exist as a liquid, right, inside here. Okay, and it's being carved out in this shape. So it will just exist as a liquid over here, even though it's being raised above its melting point. This is an example of just like a water bottle. Okay, so in this case, let me show it to you over here, this part. Okay, imagine you have a water bottle. Okay, so the M will be this. Okay, whatever that the material is made out of for the water bottle. N is this. Okay, so if you manage to melt the N, right, it will become water, right? Water over here, but it will not flow out of the water bottle. Okay, because why? It's being contained in the solid M. Okay, so in this case, right, basically you got nothing being collected. So the answer should be number 1, 0 centimeter cube, unless M is also changed into a liquid. Then you will have something that will be collected. So, but in this case, it is not because it is below the melting point. So with that, the answer for this is 1. Okay, thank you very much.